Hey, welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in and check out your boy P Funk, thinking right out here in the lab. I'm excited about this lesson. So let's get this party started. Rightism, 25 rules to live by. Storytelling, story with a message, the message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in and receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let's rock. Right Thinker's mission, and that's what I'm on, is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right Thinker's way of life, through mental and spiritual disciplines, practice daily, will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. My mission, that's what I'm on, is that all right thinkers know thyself. If you're a right thinker, your goal should be to know thyself. See where we're going with that? Let's get there together. I got you. Let's go. So I asked the question, do you know you? It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. I can help you with that. That's what I do for you. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not. It's simple, but you can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous. Avoid them. I do. A person who knows and knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm a spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself. And always to my yacht, be true. This is part two of the Nebthet concept of your character, right thinkers? Let's talk about understanding and mastering your Nebthet aspect of yourself. Again, part of your personality. We gave her the identity, we gave her that, but what she represents is principle that you can practice and master. Hope you're getting the concept, so let's go. Now, I just left off with telling you about the way to overcome the problem is to transform what? From your worldly, earthly desires of wholeness from that to which is illusionary and cannot provide wholeness. That worldly objects and people to desire for truth and wisdom, you need a set. That's her system. That thing, who's on first, what's on second. Right now, we doing that. So we're gonna put our set next. But right now, let's take care of our set. So consider this. This is a perfect concept, and every individual have experienced this. So we get an understanding. I'm just bringing it to you so you can understand it, hopefully. Now, consider the following. In the beginning, you're going to have a special dish. For me, it's crabs. Friday, I'm eating crab. I don't care. Nope, that's what I do. So that's my special dish. All right. So I'm going to that's what will make me happy. The idea is sitting there, cracking them crabs, dipping them in that butter, and that makes me personally happy. Everybody has something in life that makes them happy, be it sex, drugs, whatever it is, but that's what I'm trying to explain. We all have something. That's all. So everybody, I'm not on nobody, but I have mine too. Let you know that I'm human. So one day you go out for crabs. If you go out, that's gonna make you happy the whole time. You should what? That's make you happy all the time. You should what? Eat crabs all the time, every day, every meal. That's ridiculous conceptually. But you know that if you're tired of that, what, eating crab, you can go get a burger, okay, you can go get some Indian restaurant, etc. You can change the venue. But hopefully one day you will go to what? Okay, the health food store where you should find true wholeness and nutrition there, good health. Yeah. I wasn't gonna read this. I call it the fluff, but I'm gonna get through it because I think it's a good idea here, good lesson. Hopefully one day you go to health food store. That will give you a feeling of what? True fullness. Okay? Eating right, living right makes you feel good about yourself. That's what it's all about. Not just the pleasures of eating or the pleasures of getting what you want. Some things you have to do because that's the right thing to do. And watch this. So that when you don't have to go wandering around the world, there's a joke going about, watch this. You got people, when they got money, watch this. This what you can have. If you had it like this, I ain't got no problem with that. I ain't got it like that. But watch this. You can have New York in the morning, have breakfast, and then you can go have lunch in Paris, and then you can go have dinner in Rome. So you can experience all these different dishes. Actually, what they are experiencing is what? You ready? Is all of the same molecules and atoms, because all that food is composed of what? A different arrangement of spices and organic material. But guess what? But all of it is composed of spices, organic material, which constitutes what? But the same atoms and molecules that compose every other food on earth. We just think it's different. I'm eating crab because I see it, I conceive it in my mind. I'm eating crabs. Okay, I know the difference between a crab and a hamburger, but the molecules, they just do what they do. They don't know. They just being what they are. So that wandering, watch this, and when you wandering around behind different arrangements of things, again, earthly things, chasing, you try to satisfy and compose what? Other foods on earth, thinking you got a different delicacy. Nah, okay, but again, illusionary. We live in an illusionary world, okay? Holographic world, what do you call it? The Matrix. That wondering behind the different arrangements of things, trying to satisfy your desires, what that's just your egoistic concepts, and it is a feature of the disintegrating soul, which gives rise. The soul, the spirit, don't control nothing. It's just along for the ride. So your egoistic concepts will put your soul into what? Frame of mind, and the mental disintegration gives rise to what? You ready? The delusionary world, because now the disintegration creates illusions of thoughts in different parts of the mind. Like what? Like a house of mirrors. You remember everybody go to carnival and one look this, other one look that, fat, skinny, watch this. That's how it is. And watch this. One imagine reflects on another, and the happiness what seems possible if the mind were able to just grasp that fleeting image, that delight. I like that one. Oh, I like that one. No, I don't like that one. But you can't grasp none of them. Why? Because they're not real. Hope you get the concept. And what happens? You will never, ever be satisfied. So the mind now what? Sets off again, doing what? Looking for another delusion to run after. Something else to chase to make you happy, to make you feel good. If you live your life on your feelings, you're going to have a lot of problems. Moving on. And this is caused by what? Feeling of being unwhole. I need a soulmate. I need somebody to be with. All that nonsense. Or not being whole due to what? You ready? Spiritual ignorance. Again, that's our main problem. We're spiritually ignorant, but we believe we know. That frustrates me. And as long as that continues, what's going to happen? The consciousness is disintegrated again, and your mind is now distracted, and you are not able to seek or be able to discern truth from what? Falsehood effectively, meaning you're susceptible to what? A lie. Somebody can tell you something and you don't know otherwise, and you might believe it. Sound familiar? Call it religion. Moving on. Where we at down here? Okay, and what happens? Now you are unable to seek and discern the truth fully, effectively, in an effective manner. And this is what we call set. That's what he does to your soul. He keeps it in bondage. What he wants. Not serving your higher self. He serves himself. I tell you, you serve God or yourself. That's it. Simple. We knew that ancient times. We had a concept for that. We bring him to life to show you Set don't exist, but we gave him a character. We put him in position so you can teach about him. These are the characters of your personality. Again, Carl Jung doing, y'all just fall over. Oh, we've been doing it for centuries. Moving on. Now, a certain level, you have to have a certain level of maturity is required to what? On the spiritual path. Obedience, respect, acquiescing to situations, and learning, listening, and reflecting, and meditating on the things that you learn, and then you implement them. That's been that way since forever. It haven't changed. Allow, what happened? It allows your personality to what? To be sensitive to words of what? Wisdom. Open for what? information to enlighten you. If you're subjective, if it don't sound like what you was told, you can block it out. When you have sensitivity to the words of wisdom, and when there is enough maturity, a certain higher wisdom comes to what? Be desired by who? Your personality. And that is, you ready? That's a set. Now you want to be wise. You use your intuitive knowledge, things that you just know intuitively. You're starting to rise. It's starting to get good to you. You're starting to feel better. And then what? Our set principle begins. And what happens? That elevates what? Your consciousness. You're ready to start to learn. You're moving up the scales. Okay. And it elevates your consciousness. But we are not going to get into our set principle today. Not yet. No, she's next. I got her come on deck for you. Don't worry. I'm just preparing you. But that is for future lecture. Today we are going to discuss my girl and the principle of Nebthet. I'm going to break it down for you, explain it to you so you will know that part about yourself. That's what it's all about. So let's go. Nebthet is, as we recall, one of the 5 deities that go to compose the human personality. Now there are 10 divinities. Remember, there are 5 above: Ra, Shu, Tefnut, Geb, and Nu, sun, air, water, earth, and heaven, respectively. Then you come down to the 5 below. As above, so below. These just important deities of your character. Watch this. Now, this is the part that you can implement. We can't be the sun. We can't be the air. We can't be those things, but we can have our personality with coming to know who we are from the next level down. And that's what these guys represent. If you will, watch this. If you will, personalities. There are 5 above and 5 below. 5 cosmics and 5 worldly, human, they call them, if you will, personalities. But recall that Geb, Nut gave birth to the 5 divinities, which are Asar, Aset, Set, Nebthet, and Haru Ur. Remember, he was born great. That's your goal. You're born to be that. Every individual, not just one. Well, yeah, Set and Nebthet, what they do, they represent the first tier of the level where we all call to what? The first ring on the ladder of the Kemetic tree of life. We rising up. We got to master the first one. We're still in the first level right now. We're still in the first level. But where'd you go? In the tree of life of the Anoyan Thursday. And every rung has what? 2 connections in the ladder to what? A male and female principle. We didn't do nothing one way. Everything was equal. We discussed Set previously, and now we are discussing Nebthet again. And this completes what? When you master this, you have completed the first level of the tree of life, so that climbing process will take place now. From this point on, you're rising, you're getting better, not degrading. Everything is now on the upswing. You start to inquire or take in information that you can actually use. Watch this. Nebthet is explained by the counterpart of Set. Again, when considering these principles, you should not understand them as being opposites. No, in the sense of equal opposites. No, they may be so in that the sense that is, suppose for instance, when I ask the opposite of good, bad, opposite of up is down. Okay, there are what you call complementary opposites, again, in the sense, but they are equal but opposed and complementary. And Haru and Set, perfect, are complementary opposites. One is good and one is not good. They made it principles. Set and Nebthet are what you call made it principles. Haru and Set, opposites. They're going to fight. Okay, they're in opposition to one another. They ain't going to go together. But when you got the made it, you got the ego with nature, which is Nebthet, represents mortality. You can't create nothing with ego and death. No offspring. But because mortality can negotiate and get with the spirit, which is a soul, and create something which is called your discernment. Beautiful. If you will. Watch this. They are counterparts. Set and Nebthet are said to be husband and wife, again. Yet they have no children, again. As it has been explained earlier, I just wrote that down to you, so moving on. Their union bears no fruit. Again, ego and mortality equals nothing. That's what you get if you run around egotistical and staying in the frame of mind, the first level, you're going to have nothing. Okay? And you're going to die. Why? Because that's what that represents, death. Another lesson. I'm getting there too. Okay? But in the form of other divinities, as per the Anuian theurgy, however, watch this. We are introduced earlier, Nebthet and another divinity do bear offspring. The story is Asar got a little tipsy, and Nebthet came in there. He thought that was Aset, and he got busy. And the offspring was, they had unprotected sex. So birth comes out. We in the generation state. The generated state means a man and woman get together. Y'all getting together to copulate, to make offspring. Oh, but now we just do it because it's fun. I'm so tired of hearing about these damn pills to give you a. Come on, man. If all y'all want to do is have a big penis, come on, really? That's porn game. Get into that nonsense. Let it go. Everybody don't need that or want that. But y'all pushing like this, the greatest thing since chopped liver. Oh, 2 hours. Really? Stop. Excuse me. Get a little personal. Get back. But I'm so tired of that nonsense, all right? Everybody, we already got one. I can do it. I've been there, done that. That ain't the end all be all. That's my point. Sorry about that. Nebthet is explained the counterpart. Well, I don't know as much by here. Okay, they both equal. Okay, yeah, remember, Nebthet and another offspring, Asar, and that they get together, they had discernment. Moving on. But first of all, in relation to the principle that we're dealing with, principles. Nebthet, there are two basic issues that you need to be discussed about her. One is her name itself. Everything they had or did was symbolic and had a purpose and a reason. Her name, which is composed of two parts, Nebt, N-E-B-T, and Het. Excuse me, yeah, Nebt, and then Het. Nebt means mistress or lord of the house. And Het means house. So that means she's the mistress of the house, the physical body, earthbound. Excuse me, I get excited because I'm hoping you can follow along with this. She represents mortality, which is the physical world. This ain't the end all be all. You don't want to get stuck with her. Watch this. Moving on. There's a point here. Now, where we at? Next, you made the house. Okay, lady of the house. Now, what house are we talking about? The same temple, the house, the same temple that God dwells in. Not made with human hands. The physical body. Bam! Hope you got that one. I know you did, my dude. But this is information, symbolic and esoteric teachings. You have to get the meaning, the real meaning, and then you can get it and use it and implement it and benefit from the knowledge of practicing the principle that you can manifest what it says. So I get a little excited. Where we at? What house we talking about? Okay, now, but before getting to that, let us briefly discuss the aspect. Again, are we talking about aspects of your personality? But the aspect of her twin sister, which is Aset, so that we may get a deeper insight into the nature of Nebthet via comparison to what? Her twin sister, Aset, is the twin sister of Nebthet. And they are said to be physically identical twins. Only thing that's different, when we saw the body with the two heads, Set and Haru, when they separate them, they both identical bodies. Same thing. Only thing different is the neck up. That's called the headdress. Watch this. Everybody has the headdress to represent who they are, just in case you didn't know. Moving on. Where we at? Okay, now, the only difference that is possible to use in order to tell them apart is their headdress. Again, hence identical. You're going to need something to distinguish. If they look the same, it's going to be some distinguishing part. That's what the headdress is for. Okay. Now, Nebthet has a symbol of the neck and the symbol of the Het, which is the house. And Aset, which is a twin sister, has the symbol of the throne. She's the kingmaker. Immortality. You want her. Why? She's going to be behind you forever. That's why she stands behind the throne. Why? The man sits there, Asar, that's her man. And dude, if you know the story of Aset, she's the baddest thing going. Why? You want her as your woman. You want a woman, you want Aset. Trust me. Practice, let the story. I do some due diligence, and you'll understand. All right, moving on. Everything is symbolic, and everything is purposely for a reason. If you understood it, you'll get the meaning. People look at, well, what's that? You'll know what it really means. As a Mason, I know when I see that compass and square, what it means. Other people just see, oh, I know that's a Mason. That's the G stand for God. See? Ignorance, not knowing, so they're going to substitute and make something up. Instead of just saying, I don't know and find out, they just make something up. Human nature. Let's go. That's ignorance. Where we at now? I almost done. Where we at? Okay, chair. The chair, the throne chair. So it looks like one is out and one is in, which means abode. So we can consider that Nebthet represents the totality of the house, the physical body, which is a metaphor for what? The physical realm. And Aset represents the spirit, the supreme abode, which means what? Eternity. She's just here in the physical world. And she also represents wisdom of the what? The physical creation, which is in the one place that rules the physical creation. What? The throne. So in essence, that represents duality. Okay? Life, death. And Aset represents non-duality. She's with the one. Okay? Aset is the goddess of what? Single point. And Nebthet is the goddess of multiple points in space. Nebthet is the goddess of what? Ever moving stars, constant moving. And Aset is the goddess of what? The one that don't move. Like my yacht. That feather don't move, don't sway, don't bend. No, it's consistent. That's what Aset represents also. One of the hieroglyphic terms of the goddess Nebthet is the symbol of what? The serpent. When you see me doing this, the serpents, that's Nebthet and Aset. Okay, well, I'm about to break it down. Geez, they're twin serpents. Okay, I get to that. I'm having fun now because this is the stuff I can do without the book, but I like to use the book to get along. So roll with me. Let's go. I got you. Now, Nebthet, the goddess, okay, now, Nebthet, the symbol of serpent, or the cobra, which is the symbol what of awe. What I am getting here is that the understanding of the complementary nature of Aset and Nebthet. Again, immortality, mortality, the physical body and the interbody. That's what Aset represents, the inter, Nebthet, the outer. And this is going to play into what? The discussion related to Aset and Asar. Nebthet is therefore what? The mistress, the other lady. Now, if I was doing kids, I would keep it clean. If I had adults, I can dress that up and play that game and have all kinds of fun, menage a trois and the freak, all that nonsense. But I'm a clean dude. I'm gonna keep it on the GP level. How about that? But if I was doing late night, I would have fun with that one. Why? That's every man's dream. What? Two women, twins. Moving on. Did that too. Moving on. The ego's a bad man. But watch this. Now, what I'm getting at here is understanding the complementary nature of Aset and Nebthet. This is going to play into the discussion related to Aset and Asar. Nebthet, therefore, is the mistress, okay, the side chick, ruler of the world. And we are thinking of her here as the grossest aspect of the world. Why? Because if you recall that we have Geb and Nut, and they are solar principles, okay, earth and heaven, of physical creation that's here. Nebthet really represents, you ready, the grossest principle of time and space. Why? Because she includes not just the gross elements, but also the gross mental thoughts and the worldly impressions of the mind. And from a human perspective, the grossest principles of time and space are what? The physical body and the conscious idea of what? Self, the ego, as a physical body, me, I, this. That's what you identify with. But when you become conscious, that's being spiritually ignorant. When you think of yourself, that's why the ego, what? Is God out. Why? It just thinks of itself conceptually. And we knew that ancient times. We still got people right now today. Ego. I'm gonna ego. This dude, the president right now, My man, if you want to stay in the race, we're going to lose to this guy. Best thing you can do, be a team player, give us the best option to win, and be a team player. Oh, that ego, oh, I can do this. You can't, man. Oh, sorry about that. Get back to the lesson. I want to get that in. I had to let it be known. I ain't appreciating the nonsense. And when the physical body, and first of all, the principle of mortality, nature, if you're born, you're going to die. And guess what? If you didn't get enlightened, you'll be born again. Don't worry. Don't worry. Be happy. My man, I just did the don't worry, be happy. When you have the principle of mortality, that concept that what? I am alive now. Watch this. Ego is the ignorance. I was not alive before, and one day I will die. With that mindset, that's just what's going to happen. That's just what's going to happen. But guess what? Because you're ignorant, the spirit got to be born again. It ain't going to die. It's going to go get another body. Why? Because you didn't do your job to get it to go home. We're on loan here, people. In fact, one of the definitions, okay, of her name is ending in the is end of things. She's deaf. Okay, if you're born, the body's going to die. That's what she represents. We had all this already planned out thousands of years ago. That's my point. And this meaning is what something like what that old god Tim, in the sense that really means she is like physical death, the culmination of a physical life, be it well lived, rewarded, wrong lived, punished. Simple as that. It ain't no in betweens. It ain't no third option. Tim means what? The end of creation as a whole. And because in Ra, in the day Kepri, the sunrise, Kepri means the beginning of life, creation. High noon, he's at full strength, he's Ra. And going down, he's Tim. That means it's over. The end, he's setting. Life is the same way. And the end of the whole day, again, that's what Tim represents, the end of creation cycle. And watch this, so on and so forth. Nebthet, therefore, also represents what? The end of physical life. And the end of this lesson right now, because I see my clock is running, but I got more for you. Hope you're enjoying it. I am. Right, thinkers? In closing, may you all live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinker like you passed away. I'll be right back.